So once that all started melting down and the networks were caught correcting the story, tweets like this one from Never Trumper David French began to fly. Didn't age well. French saying Hutchinson's bravery is putting the GOP's cowardice to shame. There were a lot of tweets from Never Trumpers about her bravery that aged just about as well, as you can imagine. So they decided to come out and come at it from a different angle. Mr. French tweeted this out after Hutchinson's story completely fell apart by last night. As a legal matter, if you're focusing on the contested allegation of lunging and choking, you're focusing on the wrong thing. There was different evidence that matters far more, and it's directly relevant to a potential prosecution. Okay. That all might have been bogus, but that's not even important. So don't worry about that. I mean, it's not like they called an emergency session of the committee or anything, except they did. He also attacked the link to a story he wrote titled "The Case for Prosecuting Donald Trump Just Got Much Stronger," despite just basically admitting that Hutchinson's testimony was not based in reality. David French isn't based in reality. In it, he calls Hutchinson's testimony the most extraordinary congressional testimony he's ever seen. And he argues that this exchange is actually what could cause criminal prosecution to be brought against Donald Trump. Listen.
I was part of a conversation. I was in the vicinity of a conversation where I overheard the president say something to the effect of, I don't effing care that they have weapons. They're not here to hurt me. Take the effing mags away. Let my people in. They can march to the Capitol from here. Let the people in. Take the effing mags away.
Just to be clear, Ms. Hutchinson, is it your understanding that the president wanted to take the mags away and said that the armed individuals were not there to hurt him?
That's a fair assessment.
The issue wasn't with the amount of space available in the official rally area only, but instead that people did not want to have to go through the mags.
By the way, when they say mags, are talking about magnometers, devices that'll detect if someone might be carrying a weapon. Hutchinson says that Trump didn't want them around, inferring that he wanted the crowd to be armed. And she even states that she heard President Trump say he didn't care if they had weapons. French argues that Trump summoned the mob to Washington, knew that it would get violent, also knew that the crowd had weapons and did not care and wanted them to storm the Capitol building. Oh, by the way, Capitol police officers helpfully opened many of those doors for those rioters, as they're called. We know that based on all the video that's out there. French says that because the president apparently knew all of this and told them to fight like hell, that meant he was leading an insurrection. You just have to ignore the fact that Trump also called for 10,000 National Guard troops to be placed at the Capitol prior to January 6th, but it was ignored by Nancy Pelosi and company. Oh, and that story about Trump looking to commandeer his vehicle and drive to the Capitol, what French and the J6 committee is inferring is that Trump wanted to personally lead the rioters, possibly into the Capitol himself, and take over the government. Now, let me ask you this. How plausible do you think that really is? Especially given now that it looks like Cassidy Hutchinson lied under oath. And at the very least, got her story so wrong, it's indefensible. At least according to everyone she claims to have heard these stories from. They say she's got it wrong, and they're willing to testify.